Once again, I am in the throes of one of my favorite parks, an undisclosed location. Summer park. What I feel really positive about is this new genre. It's so unique. Two genres. So unique that there is no classification for them. Are you ready? Well, if you've been watching, if you've been watching my channel or have seen the stuff that I put out, you might realize that there might be some animal sounds on this channel. There's also hypnosis. Could those be clues? Boom, 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 boom. What makes animal sounds and is not an animal? That's a question as well. A human that mimics animals. And what is that term for that? Well, in my book, Two Sounds at Once, the main character coined this term, Bioboxics. Bioboxics, bio is the prefix for biology or lifelike. Boxics represents the beatboxing, making animal sounds to mimic the animals and hopefully communicate. So in the book, Bioboxics is a tool, Two Sounds at Once, which my channel is named after, by the way. Bioboxics is the tool to communicate with animals. A lot of people do this mimicking, cows and barks, and with Bioboxics, it's more specific to each species of animal. So you got a cardinal, you do the cardinal sound. Black-capped chickadee. You got those two specific animals. The bullfrog. I also did a bullfrog calling experiment, which you can see. I'll put a link in somewhere up here. So I'll put a link to that video about my bullfrog calling experience, where I did an experiment of calling to bullfrogs. I also have a tutorial I'll put up here for the bullfrog sound if you want, or a playlist for different Minnesota frogs, which are common throughout Wisconsin and Minnesota, as well as various different parts of the United States has some of these species of frogs. So, what's this genre? What is this genre? Bioboxics. Well, it sounds like a bit much for the layman, so we'll call it biobeats. Biobeats. Biobeats are beatboxing beats, vocally made by the voice, by the lungs and the lungs and the throat and the nasal and different things like that. You use your ears to make it too. You use the beatboxing and you use the animal sounds. But where it's different from a lot of from a lot of genres, is that the other genres use sampling of recordings of animal sounds, maybe synthesized, but they don't use the human voice. Bioboxics is only for the voice, by the voice, and it can be any type of instrumental. It's a very instrumental form. It can be any instrumental. These are the rules. It can be very instrumental. It can be just animal sounds by voice, no instruments, which would be a subgenre. And I am making this stuff up, but I do this stuff. My Tripped Out Pond is the first album of this genre. So Tripped Out Pond, we do animal sounds and a lot of frogs and birds. Human voice made. They're compositions. They can be single layered, like a or it can be these multiple layer compositions, and that's where I prefer to go. The main hiccup for this genre is that the beats don't follow a set pattern or a set genre. So it's very it traverses multiple. So you could have a trance beat, you could have a hip hop beat, but the underlying the factor is that there are animal sounds, and the animal sounds are made by voice. Within that is the specific species. It's not just a bark. It's not just a generic toad. It's a specific type of toad. It's a specific type of birds, and you mix them all together to make these compositions. And it's these ambient tracks. They're very relaxing. You can be transfixed. And that is the bioboxics genre. Bioboxics are biobeats. They're living beats. All made by voice, multi-layered compositions, only sounds by voice. I must emphasize that these beats are made only by the voice. So that, and then it's not a beatboxing genre. It's not completely a cappella, because it doesn't just use tones and drums. It's not hip hop, so it's its own genre. But similar to beat boxing, it had, or even rap, there can be beast box battles. Maybe you might want to start a battle.